The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show in which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Mayo, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. The man, the myth, the legend, Dave Chow is here with us today.
Oh, pleasure to be here, as always.
Excellent. You only get to pick one. Man, myth, legend. Go.
I'll take legend.
Excellent. You got it.
Yeah,
You're like
well,
the
so
Paul
is
Bunyan
Sasquatch, right? so is Sasquatch and Nessie. So, I mean,
I was hoping for like more of a realistic, like a tall tale style legend. You know?
oh, you mean what, like Pecos Bill or something? Yeah, like
Paul
Babe
Bunyan.
the Blue Ox.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right, I could deal with that.
Babe the Blue Ox. Oh man.
Oh boy, could be worse.
Yeah, exactly. Could always be worse. Let's see. What tall tale would Mara Livesey like to be associated with? Is there any like tall tale that you've heard or legend that you want to be a part of?
It's a good question.
Come on, we could start rumors right about now. We could build your street cred. How you killed
But,
three people in an alleyway in New York City or something like that.
Nice. Everything that I'm thinking of is like a female villain.
Cruella
It's
de
wrong
Vil?
with that, but it's all I can think of.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Little Maleficent, maybe.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, you would look good with horns, wouldn't you?
Hopefully unclipped wings. That would be nice.
Hopefully.
Jim Tubbs is also here with us today.
Hello, I'll go myth.
You'll go myth.
Yeah.
Well, like
and no one
Zeus.
will ever know. No one will ever
Sometimes
know.
I'm feeling like Sisyphus, you know?
Exactly.
Minus
Exactly.
the loincloth and the fancy hair, right?
Yeah.
Wow, what do you mean minus? That's the only reason Jim chose that.
Oh my gosh.
There was a line in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel that Bruno Kirby, not Bruno Kirby, but the guy who's playing Lenny Bruce delivers. That's what he says about Sisyphus.
Ah, okay.
He says, I'm like Sisyphus minus the loincloth and the fancy hair.
I was just thinking The Rock, you know?
Ah, yes. Okay.
Rock that rolls back down. A rock that moves gathers no moss, sort of like Heather Hill.
There's a compliment in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Find it.
Or something.
Think about it.
You're always on the move, Heather. You're always on the move.
Oh, okay.
How's film class?
Good. Professor Livesey came in a couple of weeks ago. It was
Ooh.
awesome.
Yay.
It was
So
fun.
fun.
Yeah, we did get out. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then Professor Rombies came in last Monday.
Let me guess, film noir.
No, actually not film noir, documentary, because I was
Oh.
working on documentaries that week.
Okay.
So he talked about documentaries and it worked out well. So
Nice.
it's good. It's okay. It's okay considering,
Yep.
everything. So
The circumstances under which it came to you. Yes.
yes, the circumstances under which it came to me. Yeah,
Yes,
it's all
that's
right.
good.
So
I mean, let's be serious that we get these texts from our ex-chair in my department. That whistling sound you just heard is the end of week 10. So there's only a few weeks to go here. Let's be
Mhm.
serious. Yep.
yep.
Dan Maggio is here, and in between shows, he's had a complete recovery.
Yes, I'm feeling much better. So Heather, when you have guest lecturers
Visiting-
come in,
I'm calling them visiting scholars.
visiting scholars, are the students asked to watch these movies before
No,
that class?
no. I have a regular curriculum of the movies that are part of the class, which they're required to watch. And then
Oh, I see.
I put out a call and said, if you've got a favorite movie you want to come in and talk about, just come ahead. It so happened that Mara was interested in talking about get out and they had already seen it. That was part of the curriculum.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
great.
Right.
That's awesome.
So when Dave and Matt come in, I don't know, Matt, are you going to talk about Back to the Future?
Back to the Future was the plan. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Dave, I mean, that's the same week that we start the Lion King movies that week too. So I don't know if you wanted to do something with that, Dave.
I can bring storyboards to both, and I can draw for them if need be.
Yeah,
That's
so I
awesome.
think that, so I'm sorry, Dan asked, that's why I'm planning my class during this.
Or
session.
Heather, if you want, between Matt and myself and you, we could also take on the kids playing Pictionary for cash.
Mhm.
Ah!
Come on, we can take them on. We can strap their student loan payments a little harder. I mean,
I'll have to see, the class is 2.5 hours long, so we may be
Right.
able to squeeze that in.
we
Right.
will have them in rain barrels in no time. So
That's right. That's right.
But
we
anyway,
also take take watches, gold teeth. We can barter.
but it's been good to have people come in. It's been fun, so,
Yep.
and then Beth's coming in. And then Steven's coming in too.
That's great.
So,
Great.
What's your movie, Stephen?
Lion King.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lion King.
Good.
Yeah. But we can't forget to mention Beth Oljar is here because she is the mistress of the Halloween to Christmas transition.
Ah, okay. I'll buy that. That sounds good. I'm skipping Thanksgiving completely and going to Christmas.
I mean,
That's my plan.
Thanksgiving is the American gateway to the end of year holidays, right? So
I guess.
what occurs to us in the department this week, Beth, I think you've stopped by enough time to know that most years in the main office, the chem department, we have a Halloween tree, a Thanksgiving tree, and a Christmas tree to follow.
Jane's
And,
already put up the Christmas tree. She was doing that when I came in on Monday.
Yeah, so that's actually the Thanksgiving tree. It has a turkey
Oh.
on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But if you follow with the dates that we're doing all this sort of business and are very sacred about day one and day n+1, Jane will have the Halloween tree up for 31 days, fairly obvious reasons. The Thanksgiving tree is really only up for 20 odd days. And the Christmas tree, sadly, is only up for a couple weeks because we're always breaking for Christmas a little bit early. So it's kind of sad
Right.
in that regard.
Aw.
But we pushed the envelope this year, Beth, in a way that I think you'll appreciate. We said that it always looked odd. We have this all black tree for Halloween, that it didn't have a skirt. And so Jane discovered the wonderful world of Amazon non-Christmas themed tree skirts. And now we have a Halloween skirt and a Thanksgiving skirt. So
Wow, that is so cool.
pretty big deal. Last but not least, we already heard he's going to be talking about the Lion King. It's Stephen Manning.
Meanwhile, over at Briggs, there is no celebration of any kind.
That's horrible. That's
Leslie
really
had
sad.
some candy in the main office, but yeah, there will be Christmas decorations, I guess. at
There'll be
some point.
Christmas decorations.
That's good.
Hello, Luna.
Hello.
She's visiting.
We are
Here's
double
my
cat
butt.
now.
You would
Wow.
think that the cheer would spread from one building to another, but it doesn't seem to have that.
Well, that requires a certain mentality among people.
Right.
It's sorely missing in.
Which is lacking.
Sorely-
When you might have a ceiling tile fall on the Christmas tree, you have to
Right.
you have to think about these things.
I put a stack of tiles. I'm not kidding you. It was over a foot high out in the hallway for them to take away that have fallen down in my office since I've been there. I mean,
Well,
there's
I called them.
gaps.
I called them a while ago to say they're falling down. Can you replace them, please? They came and they took them all down. So if you look at my ceiling, it's like I'm living in some sort of a
Cement with
Wasteland
blobs of old glue on
factory.
it.
Well,
Ooh.
Oh,
It has a very tenement feel about it.
yes,
Right.
or
horrible.
tentative
Well-
feeling about it.
Ugh.
That's not
Maybe
good.
that's the look they're going for.
That's not good at all.
Maybe you should dress accordingly. To
What?
fit.
Borrow the zombie Beth wardrobe?
No, like in burlap sacks.
I was gonna say in a potato sack. Oh yeah. Hey folks, while you're contemplating potato sacks, this is a program where you can send us questions regarding anything. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send the questions to us in a number of ways. You can email us at atp@udmercy.edu. Find us on the Facebook or Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to invade your privacy by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. You know that set of questions from our last show from Frank Burrows and family is still actually cooking. They came up with so many questions. We can do 2 shows based on it. And we were
Wow.
having a ton of fun. A little bit of Michigan history, a little bit of crazy history. What Major League Baseball team has a mascot that is a seal?
A seal.
Baseball?
Yep.
Major
His
League.
name is Lou.
It's not the Mariners, is it?
Marlin,
A seal.
Marlins.
Padres.
Nope.
What? It's not the Dodgers.
It's a Major League Baseball team.
Absolutely.
The
The Giants?
Giants?
Yeah, I was gonna
It's the Giants. Yes, the San Francisco
Oh.
Really?
Giants. Because the Seal Island is just over the right field, which goes
Yeah.
right out into the bay.
So now, what's the significance of Lou?
That's a good question. I want to say that maybe the person who brought the Giants out west.
Oh,
maybe
wait
his
a minute.
first
No,
name
wait a
was
minute.
Lou.
Wait, don't tell me it's Lucille.
Well,
Could
his
it?
name is Lucille. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, jeez. Talk about bad puns.
How about this one? If you know this trivia, you know it. I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to help you too much if you don't. What rock band started with the name, a fairly famous rock band, mostly in the 80s, started with the name Rat Salad?
Rat? Was it
Yeah.
the band Rat?
It
Oh, sure.
wasn't Rat,
Rat salad?
and that would have been my guess, but it was
Motley
in the
Crue?
hair band realm.
Motley Crue?
Mm-mm.
B-52s.
Rat salad.
Rat salad.
Poison?
They ended up going with the surname of a prominent member.
What?
Van Halen? Van Halen?
Van
Aerosmith?
Halen. It was
Oh,
Van
Halen.
Halen. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, the rat salad is making a little more sense.
I'm surprised none of you mentioned Ozzy. Quite frankly, he was the
Black Sabbath?
supposedly rat guy, right?
Yeah, well,
No, it was
eating
a-
them is not the same as being them.
no,
It
the
was a-
bat.
It was a bird. Yeah,
Oh,
it was a bird.
bat.
Okay. Or it was a bat. Maybe it was all those things. I don't know.
I could have been a rumor too.
It was a white bird. No, he really did it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, professors.
Hey.
One started in 1960. The other started in 1963. So which is which? Justice League or the Avengers?
Oh, Justice League.
That
Started in
Justice League was first.
1960.
Yeah, they were the earlier one.
Yeah.
Justice League was 1960. Yes,
Yep.
that is true. Mhm. And thus continued with some of these YouTubers that I follow. Like, you have to understand something about DC and Marvel. They literally have almost character by character the same set
Mm-hmm.
of ideas and tropes and powers, all the way up to having a purple space emperor. I laughed very hard. Oh man. Just so you know, that's where DC is going. All hail dark side.
Oh, jeez.
What restaurant chain, speaking of those 60s, was opened in 1962 by its founder, Glenn Bell?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Yeah, that's where it got
Oh.
its name. Mhm.
Kendra would have gotten that one. She's our Taco Bell ringer, isn't she?
She is. She keeps him in business, from what I hear. Yeah, that's true.
Chalupas are so yummy.
Oh,
They are so yummy.
I miss the Mexican pizza though.
That's also true. Professors, who was the first? Listen to this. This is someone who lives in Valencia, California, and this is the trivia question we get. Who was the first act to appear at Pine Knob, 25th of June, 1972? Tickets were seated $7, $5, or $2.50 for the lawn.
Wow. What a
Nice.
deal.
Alice Cooper, local boy.
So I will try. That's a really good guess, by the way.
Like
Alice
Bob
Cooper makes
Seger?
perfect sense. But it was a, for lack of a better description, 1972, a teen heartthrob.
David Cassidy.
David Cassidy.
Was David Cassidy.
Hey, I-
Second after I said it.
I saw him in concert about that time,
Wow.
maybe a year or
Wow.
so later. Yeah. I had a
Somehow-
real thing for him.
I just
think I
can't
love
imagine
you.
crowd surfing to David Cassidy.
Think I
Heather.
love you.
Heather, that was a good one.
I know
It's a
Heather's
good
going down the I
song.
think I love you. That's wild.
I like the Partridge Family songs.
Let's see if those among us who know their James Bond can answer this handful of questions. 2 actors have played James Bond in 7 films. Who are they?
Don
Roger
Connery.
Moore.
Connery
Sean Connery and Roger Moore.
and Roger Moore.
1 actor has played James Bond 5 times
Connery.
now.
Pierce
Daniel
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, that's Daniel Craig.
Oh, okay.
He's got fifth and done. So
Pierce Brosnan, only 4. How many times did Timothy Dalton play James Bond?
too many.
Three.
Three.
It's actually only twice. Only
Twice?
2 movies. Mhm. And then, of course, we
So-
know George Lazenby was only 1.
One.
I saw on the internet Henry Cavill is signed
Oh.
up to be the next. He could be really good. I still
Really?
think
Really?
Idris Elba would have been awesome,
And-
but
Come on, another white guy.
well, that's why Idris Elba would have been awesome, or one of the
Oh.
great Indian or Muslim actors that they have in Britain. So yeah,
Oh,
there were
totally.
options there, but Henry Cavill's not. I don't think he's a bad choice necessarily.
He's eye candy at that point, you
Mm.
know.
We
As
have
long as it doesn't prevent him from taping The Witcher, I'm perfectly fine.
right.
Yeah.
You know, we
He's-
have
So
a
from
female,
Superman to
uh,
Bond, huh?
we have
I
a
have no-
female
what-
Doctor Who now. Isn't it time we have a female
She is,
James
and
Bond
she is
too?
fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
But she's
Cool.
leaving,
Oh, that's too bad.
unfortunately.
So who's
Yeah.
taking over there?
I don't know that I saw, but I she's really starting to grow on me. I really enjoy her character and her
the longest
kind of
serving
silliness.
Doctor Who.
Huh?
Who was the longest playing Doctor Who? Which character? Which actor
Tom-
or actress?
Tom Baker,
Tom
I think
Baker?
7 seasons.
That sounds
Tom
about
Baker.
right.
I don't think any of the newer ones
Okay.
went that long.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, which goalie brother duo were the first to play against each other in the history of the NHL?
Ooh.
All right, Dave.
Go. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out who. Esposito. No. But hold on. The Dryden brothers, Ken and Dave Dryden.
That's right, the Drydens. You got it. Yep. Mhm. Immediately,
Oh.
Dave starts
Font
talking.
of
Everybody just sort of
knowledge,
backs
a
up a little bit.
Of knowledge.
Hey, professors, it's not Detroit Mercy. Which Michigan university has been known to issue faux permits for unicorn hunters?
Ooh.
Good grief.
Where would there be unicorns in Michigan?
Like
That's actually a
Michigan
good way to
Tech?
solve this.
Yeah, Michigan Tech would be a good one.
Yeah, like somewhere in the north.
How
Yeah,
about,
they're out in the middle of nowhere, kind of bored off the coconut. I'd issue a permit.
how about just a little
Western,
further south
Western
than Michigan Tech?
Oh,
Grand Valley State.
What's over there?
Central?
Northern Michigan University?
Nope, they're north of Michigan Tech. actually.
Central Michigan.
No, the
Kalamazoo
Northern Michigan and
College.
Traverse City. Sorry, I got the name wrong.
Okay.
What,
Oh.
like, what,
Wait,
like
wait.
Adrian? What's
I'm
the
sort of
other?
surprised.
Alma?
I'm really
Olivet.
surprised at all of you.
Really?
You think-
Is it a
Michigan
big
See,
one?
just south of Michigan Tech. Man,
South of Michigan.
As the crow flies. You know what we're looking for here is Lake Superior State.
Oh, Lake
University.
Superior.
Oh, okay, all right.
well, that's
Oh.
more.
See, I think Mara's
We
answer is a little
appreciate
bit more, you know.
What? What is up with you?
You should be hunting unicorns anyway.
You shouldn't be hunting them
That's
anyway.
what
I totally
Voldemort
agree.
does.
That's
That's what
completely agree.
Voldemort does.
He does.
But they're
Right.
such good eating, though. Oh,
Well, that's why they're faux permits,
Right.
because you really shouldn't be doing it.
very, very famous, hopped around to a lot of different shows, a host of American game shows, Wink Martindale. What is his actual name?
You mean it isn't
Winkin'?
Wink?
Winking. Wink more.
Blinking.
Winkmore?
William Robert.
Wink out.
Eelworm. Oh boy.
Shares a first name with a very, very famous Prime Minister of England.
Winston?
Margaret.
Winston.
First name
Winston
is Winston?
Martindale.
Winston. And he's from Jackson, Tennessee.
That's right. That's exactly
Really?
right.
I'm trying to imagine how Churchill would have felt if anyone had bestowed the nickname Wink on him.
I'm going to go on record and say that wouldn't have gone very well.
Oh,
No,
Nancy
I don't
Astor would
think
have
so.
loved it.
Hey, professors, this is a fairly well-known piece of trivia, top to bottom, that Jerry Ford was the first Eagle Scout who ever became president of the United States. Who was the first Boy Scout of any kind who became president of the United States?
Teddy Roosevelt?
No, that makes sense, but that's not it.
Gerald Ford again?
Mm-mm.
Was he the one and only? Oh,
John
was someone-
Kennedy.
It was Jack Kennedy. Yeah, it was John
Oh.
Kennedy. Mhm.
okay.
I think that sort of stuff is funny because having dabbled in Cub Scouts in my grade school years, I mean, you just kind of like get involved, and then at some point you either commit for life or you are
Right.
not involved
Or it
anymore.
fades
So,
away. Yeah.
I mean,
The
anybody could be a scout.
The phrase dabbled in Cub Scouts sounds a little weird.
Oh, oh,
Ooh.
oh.
Thanks, Heather. Thanks a
Oh.
lot.
Because I'm just letting you know. I mean,
Dabbled in Cub Scouting.
Oh.
How's that?
Well, is it like dabbling in brownies too? I mean, that still doesn't sound any better. I mean,
No, it
geez.
does not. It definitely does not.
just
You
saying.
participated temporarily.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Now
was a
even that sounds
bluebird.
weird.
And then withdrew.
Oh, dear
All right.
Lord.
Okay.
What?
Okay. We're gonna have to move on now.
Oh my God.
I hope you all are happy.
This is a family show. Come on.
It was a family show.
Last one. What was the name of the gang of females in the movie Grease?
The Pink Ladies.
The Pink Ladies. Yes,
Oh.
that is right. Would you call them a gang? Would you call them a gang?
A gaggle, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Not a gang.
What was it? What, a gaggle? Was it like a murder of crows kind of thing? Now, what else would you?
No, I mean, gang has its own, connotation.
Negative.
No,
Again,
they
this is
were.
like-
Yeah, they were a gang. I
they kind of
think.
were a gang.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
like a coffee clutch of women or something like that? What-
Oh
Right.
no! Because
Yeah, because
precisely
they-
the problem with Sandy was that she was too clean to be pink. She could never be a pink lady.
That's right.
She didn't smoke. She didn't drink.
enough.
She didn't.
They were
you know.
such great, background singers in such hits as Beauty School Dropout.
Frankie
Dee Dee
Valley
Cohn.
sang that, or Rudy Valley. One of them sang that. I remember in the film.
I want a pink lady to drink right now.
Oh,
Wait, what's
Oh
in
my
a Pink
God.
Lady, Heather?
Yeah, what's in it?
I thought it was champagne and something else.
That
I
sounds
could be
about right.
wrong.
Like
Uh.
slow gin or something, right? Because it actually is pink.
It must be
Mm.
slow gin.
just
Or-
like our
Oh,
show, we
Campari.
always evolve into food and drink. Food and drink. It always comes
Wow.
back to that.
After this show, I'm going to make up my own pink lady.
There you
It could
go.
be Campari, I guess.
Ooh.
Hmm?
We've reached the end of these questions, and we'll transition as we should into the next level of the list of imponderables from the
Uh-oh.
Burroughs family. And for this week, what we have is, what is your favorite pair of shoes?
Pair of shoes. I'm
Like-
wearing them.
Ever or
Right.
I think we can interpret
I've
this
had
any
a
way
lot
that
of
we wish.
shoes over the years.
How attached are you to a pair of shoes? I can tell you this much. We were doing Ask the Professor once we sort of got our butts in gear after the beginning of the pandemic. And I remember Jim and I were having a conversation before one of the shows. And Jim, you had remarked something about not having worn shoes in a long time. And then it sort of became a crusade of mine I had just purchased a brand new pair of shoes before the pandemic started, and I had worn them every day teaching throughout the end of that semester and all summer and then all fall, not for every single occasion, but mostly wearing those shoes. And I gave them a proper send off by tossing them into the bonfire in late 2020 last year, saying, "Thank you, shoes, for getting me through the pandemic."
That, that's the problem with jogging shoes, because they really, if you wear them a lot, they don't last that long. I mean, the rubber
True.
in them get hard, and they, you have to throw them away, even though they were the most comfortable things you've had.
See, now I've got a pair of sentimental ones, which I just recently bought. I know it sounds strange, but sentimental and shoes and recent don't necessarily go together. But to make a long story short, one of my best friends from high school, we used to go to Northland Mall. And I remember we walked by the Sibleys. Does anybody remember Sibleys?
Siblings.
Yep.
And we saw these Johnston & Murphy oxblood wingtips.
Wow.
We're like 16 years old. We can't wear those. We look like pimps. And then my friend said, those would be our professorial shoes or our high executive shoes. And we'd always swore up and down that we'd buy a pair. So a year and a half ago, my friend passed, and on the anniversary of his death, I bought a pair of, now mind you, Johnston Murphy doesn't make oxblood wingtips anymore, but Solivere does. And Solivere, they were the people who made Doc Martens back in the day and still do. So I'm wearing them even as we speak in memory of a good friend. That's all. So
It's a good shoe story.
Oxblood shoes.
Now,
Good
I had a
shoe
pair of
story.
oxblood wingtips that were actually lightweight. They were some sort of, man-made material, but they looked like leather shoes, but they were very lightweight. They were quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Because they had like the foam, insole.
Yep.
You were good.
We can
It took
tell
forever
shoe
to break
stories.
in, but yeah.
I think all of my mocks that I've gotten, my pairs of mocks I've gotten over the years from Land's End are pretty good.
Yep,
I'm very fond of them.
that's great.
And the many pairs of boots I've had over the years. So
Ooh, okay.
I really like boots.
Boots are good.
So yeah,
They're made for
They all made
walking.
for walking.
indeed. Yes. Nancy Sinatra. I actually co-wrote that song with Nancy Sinatra. A little known fact.
Oh, wow.
My favorite boots are made for walking.
That's right.
Come on,
You were
we
what,
can't be the
2
only
at the
ones.
time?
Come on, we
I'm gonna
can't be the
take this
only
in
ones with
a-
shoe stories, right?
I'll take it in a different direction. This isn't a pair of shoes that you might think is a pair of shoes, and they certainly aren't particularly comfortable.
Toe shoes.
But point shoes,
There
Oh!
we go. There we go.
Oh.
not because they're comfortable, because there's just nothing better than dancing in a pair of point shoes. There's nothing like it.
I'll buy
That's
that.
a good shoe
I'll
story.
take your word for it.
Awesome.
I agree with Dave that you can be sentimental about shoes. I inherited a pair of shoes from my father.
Ooh.
When he died, his foot was slightly bigger than mine. So to wear these, really a beautiful pair of shoes. And I had to get one of those Dr. Scholl's foam insert things,
Sure.
so they would not
Yeah.
slip on. And I wear them not often, but periodically, and they have sentimental value.
That's cool.
Sure.
I guess I would pick up on what Jim said about running shoes. I mean, I only started running a few years ago, and every time I get a new pair of running shoes, it makes me feel nice. I mean,
Like
Yeah.
empowered.
I like
in a
to
way.
rotate them. I think now I have maybe 4 pair that I rotate.
Sure.
Some
Now-
individuals,
Months, though, before
some
they feel really
individuals
comfortable.
have 17 or 18 pairs that they rotate, which is quite amazing to me.
When did you get your most recent pair, Heather?
I think that would be Christmas. Last Christmas.
So now, Heather, are you brand loyal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to be. Yeah.
Okay.
We get our shoes at Run Detroit usually.
No, but
I got
Nike, Asics,
Asics
Adidas?
or not Asics. I was fitted for either Brooks or Saucony's,
Okay.
but I got a new pair of Brooks recently as an early Christmas gift from Stephen.
Nice.
More
He's
than
so
the-
thoughtful.
Wonderful idea.
So I don't know. If it's I like getting a new pair of running shoes to add to my rotation
terrific
so that I can catch up with some people who have a lot more than I do. But I never will catch up because, I can't. At any rate,
No, Heather,
like my running
it's not about catching up. It's about slowing them down now. That's all.
That's right.
it's
Trip
fine.
them.
Well, it
Dan,
is-
I don't think we've heard from you.
If you're a runner, the shoes are as important as like tires on a car. They're the only thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
touches the ground.
Sure.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You really have to have a good pair of running shoes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Or you can not run.
I was
Already
gonna
it-
make a
Just
joke.
saying.
I
that's
really
an
hope
option.
Running
the
shoes are
shoes
mostly walking shoes.
Are the only
Some of us
things
not
that touch
enough.
the ground.
I have one pair of sneakers, walking shoes.
Mhm.
Okay, we haven't heard from Dan.
And we haven't heard from
I don't
Dan.
have much to say.
Dan.
I like
Dan.
Merrill's shoes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
Me
probably have
too.
the most of them, and I don't own a pair of running shoes.
Do you
I
have any special curling shoes?
I do. Oh, I guess yeah, that's a good. I could share a story like Amara. I do have I have many pairs of curling shoes, which unfortunately do not have another place that they could be worn outside of the curling room.
Oh, you can wear them in the parking lot. You can wear them anywhere. It just won't be as functional. That's all.
Dan, how many
right.
pairs do you have?
4, but most of them are old,
Okay, don't eat the cord. You
and I don't
need
know what else
eat
to
it.
do with them. Like I always look for new curlers to donate them to, but I can never find that.
Yep.
Is Beth talking to the cat?
Well,
Yes.
she's
Yes.
Well, Dan, do they all have one slick sole and one rough sole?
They do. They're not well balanced. So
So you just
would-
walk
you would
around in circles in the
definitely not-
house.
Heather, you would not want to run in them.
Right.
like
No,
running
you
with-
would not.
Heavy shoes, a different weight, you'd probably fall over.
Nor would they
Unless
count
you're
as point
on
shoes,
ice.
right?
They would
You
not.
could just get a
No.
start and just slide along on one foot and push with the other, and then you'd be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
You even have to jog.
Oh,
Professors, I believe we have mined this one on the basics of a favorite pair of shoes just about as far as it can go. And the time has come to say goodbye. Stephen,
Goodbye.
Beth,
goodbye.
Dan,
Goodbye.
Heather,
Bye.
Jim,
Adios.
Mara,
Bye.
and Dave.
see ya.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is transcribed at the facilities of our houses, but we're still out of the Department of Communication Studies in the College of Liberal Arts and Education at University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mayo.